Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one ring that we rule them all. Hope you remember your towels. Get your Ulu fingers and your needler guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword +1. Use Valerian steel if it will get you to come. To the big tank. To the big tank. The Rocky Mountain big tank.
Hi, I'm Guy,
Hi, I'm Troy,
Hi, I'm Alex.
and this is Geek,
your Nihon-sized podcast.
I'm coming to you live from Japan, in the Japan people. Hey, I wonder if I can open up the chat.
Can you open up chat? Hi, Brent.
I can only open up the chat and see things once in a while. There you go. I can either have the chat open or have the screen open, and that's it. I cannot do both because it's too busy telling me I'm live and giving me my entire left side of the screen there, or right side of the screen to be. So I cannot read what Brent is saying, except that I know that Brent is there, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Brent said that it's from 1/3 Japan.
1/3 of Japan. 1/3 of Japan is with us. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Bob is here.
Hello.
Bob. So,
went to the Chris Krindle Mart today. Had my Jaeger Schnitzel.
Your Hunter Schnitzel?
Hunter Schnitzel. Which I guess hunters like mushrooms. Because they're hard to hunt? I don't know. Maybe with the deer's running and you shoot it and it hits the ground really fast, it just sort of marinates itself in the mushrooms on the ground.
I was thinking more along the lines of they just run from you into the hunting the stupid mushrooms.
Well, if you're Mario, they chase you.
That's true.
No, sometimes they run. Depends on the mushroom.
I guess it's also true. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, tell us about your Japan trip.
Well.
From the Japans.
About, 400 meters that way is a magic shop with all magic cards and Pokemon. And then about 500 meters that way is another magic shop with magic cards. And then over there is a arcade with a whole bunch of Gashapon. And then down there, everything's within walking distance of it. It's really amazing. There's just stuff everywhere.
Do they have Gachupon?
No. Yes, actually they do.
I'd be surprised if they didn't. It's just fun to say.
Yeah. There was a Ray Earth one that we saw the other day, and I was like, Ray Earth? Gosh, I haven't Ray Earth since the 90s. I was kind of shocked, but yeah, there we are. So, yeah, nice. I mean, there's some great stuff all around. I'm actually in Tokyo proper this time, as opposed to before.
Tokyo improper.
Yeah, as opposed to improper Tokyo, that's when they take pictures of your skirt. It's not good. But yeah, it's kind of nice. I mean, the weather's great. I'm out here in my t-shirt and stuff, so that's cool. It does get pretty chilly at night, but it's during the day it's been in the mid 50s thereabouts Fahrenheit, 14, 15, 16 thereabouts in Celsius. So it's been nice. So far we've picked a whole bunch of just random stuff, but I'm coming back with a whole bunch of magic cards that are all in Japanese. Kiddo's been buying them all in English, but I'm like, why would you do that? You're in Japan, buy the Japanese ones. We even found some Neon Dynasty ones, and they're only like 300 yen. So for a pack, that's like $2.50. So we were like, we'll buy this. So, It's pretty decent.
Good.
Cool. Have you tested your mind against any of the locals?
No. I was going to, but they all seemed to run in fear from me. So there was that. I don't know.
I thought then you remembered you don't play competitively.
Right.
Like, let's not do that.
Oh, you mean Magic? I thought you just meant a sword at random and seeing how many.
Well, we know how there's always random sword fights starting in Japan.
I mean, we've watched the movies. We know exactly how this works. No, actually, James has just come off of a deployment, so he came back last night. So really haven't done any of the things that he's been kind of integrating into, and one of the things he's been doing is going to competitions with Magic and stuff like that. I don't know whether that's on the plan or not, but that is something that he's been doing. So
all right,
we'll see. Could be cool.
Well, at least go watch him and tape it,
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I mean, I might just go and just film it just to see what happens. So, yeah, we've been here about 1 week now, almost. I mean, as of today, it's been about 1 week. The flight was really, really grueling, but there were some fascinating things about the flight that we learned. First of all, there were no shades on the windows. The old little window shade things. They just now have. I guess they have LCDs in them or something. But whatever's the story, they just automatically dim now. And it got to the point where the pilot could control so all of the windows in the plane dimmed down. And you could still see the sun and some of the clouds outside, but it looked like you were looking out over a night scene. That's how much the windows dimmed down. So you could still see outside, but it was very dim.
Now.
I know, right? It was so cool. And you could still fix it, but of course nobody did because I guess they were trying to get us all to try to sleep on the flight over because on the way here it's all daylight, the whole flight. Because we leave there at 11 o'clock and arrive here at 4 in the afternoon the next day. So we just literally fly through the night, but we follow the sun. So on the way back, we'll be going back against the sun. So as soon as we leave, the sun will set, and then it'll stay down for most of the flight, and then we'll arrive there next morning after the sunrise. So. But that was cool. We flew here on a 787, which is a new plane for me. It was fun. So, yeah.
Cool. And at least this way you don't have to worry about the person sitting next to you keeping the shades open.
Right.
You're trying to get some sleep.
Right, because they can control it, which is kind of interesting. So, but yeah, it was a fascinating flight, long flight. I remember it being a long flight the last time. Hasn't gotten any shorter, but yeah. So we're on a main thoroughfare right here. In fact, James picked a place that was about 500 meters from the train station. So, and it's 2 big train lines, so we can get pretty much anywhere after about a 5-minute walk.
Nice.
So you get 5 minutes to the train station, and you can pretty much go anywhere. Still takes a while, but, and we did get to drive. I got to drive to pick up James a couple of days ago and bring him back for 1 whole day while he changed he was on a night shift and now he's on a day shift. And so they let him 1 day. So we went and picked him up and brought him back here so we would be doing something all day so he could force himself to stay awake. And then we drove back here and then he got back on the train and went back up there for 2 more days or whatever. But I got to drive, and there is a massive part of the freeway here in Tokyo that's just underground. You're above ground, and then you get on this spiral that literally just spirals all the way down, and then it's about 4 kilometers straight of underground tunnel. And I'm just like, wow. Some of the stuff that's here is just like, wow, that's just amazing. But yeah, there's a lot of tunnel. So, yeah. How have you guys been?
Emotionally exhausted, fighting a cold.
Nope.
Oh.
I did pick up. Sorry, pausing my game. I did pick up the Prince of Persia: Lost Crown Metroid style game. It was on the I'm assuming the ultra complete version was 50% off a week or so ago, or so I picked that up. I'm still playing God of War Ragnarok. Lots of fun.
I assume that you mean as in it's a side scroller type game, right?
Yeah, like Metroid. So it's sides. Yes, like classic Metroid, and get items and abilities to unlock more of the map and yada yada. Yeah, it was on one of the people I watch's best of the year. It's like, oh, I played the demo. I liked it. Yeah, why not?
Sure. Yeah, makes sense to me. That's cool.
Yeah, I also read Kenneth Lee's The Black Unicorn, which I then handed to my child. Thought they might like it. So we'll see.
Nice.
And else I read some more of Tehanu, the fourth Earthsea novel, to my child last night. Or perhaps it was the night before. I don't remember which. But yeah, getting through that book slowly but surely. I think I might have mentioned before that I was not ready to read that when it first came out. And now that I am reading it as an adult, 40 years later or 30 years later, it's quite good.
Nice. I am definitely downtown, if you can tell.
Right.
There are lots of. In fact, this is kind of funny because this main thoroughfare routinely has ambulances through it and stuff like that because they're heading to the station, and this is the main thoroughfare. So all night long, that happens. I always feel kind of bad for the people who live closer to the main crossroads. Sorry.
So is this underground one called the Expressway Shinjuku line?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just looking it up because I was interested in seeing what it looked like.
And then there was, what they call it? They called it the Sky something. But there was this exit off of C2. So if you look at the C2 crossway or causeway going up north, there's this exit, and it's just a loop. And it looks like a clover leaf, but it isn't. It's many levels of clover leaf. So you come off the clover, and then you just keep going down and down and down. And then at some point you get off of the clover leaf and go underneath C2, but you are by that point in time quite significantly underground.
I just want to film a zombie film that takes place in it.
Right? I was going to take pictures in it, but of course I was driving.
Yeah,
I didn't want to die.
Don't crash and die in their new expressway.
When James came back, he had to go to a different location, so we couldn't go back the way we came. So we're hoping that I will have another opportunity where James is driving so that I can take pictures and film. You know.
I mean, I think you can manufacture that without too much difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is
rig your camera up like a dash cam.
I'm just like, let's just go on this road trip through the thing so I can take pictures of it. Okay.
Well, it is on the north side of town, and at some point I do want to go back to Ibaraki, and that's where I was before. So the odds are good that we can find a good excuse to head up that way at some point. It is a good way to get to the middle of town.
Did you hit the Warhammer store yet?
No. So the Warhammer store is like 350 meters that way. And I mean, like, it is right there. We walked by it. We didn't go into it. We walked.
If you go into it, ask them about their free mini of the month.
Okay.
Because they're more excited to give the free minis. They'll give them to anybody, but they're more excited to give it to somebody who's asking questions about the game that's never played. So whenever Nick and I go to a new Warhammer store, we have no idea what Warhammer is.
Right.
Reminds me of that Rowan Atkinson bit.
Yes.
Tell me all about this game. Speaking of it.
I'd like to tell you the church's stance, but I don't know what that is.
Exactly. I did show my child the first episode of Black Adder, and that is all we'll be watching because they are Have negative interest.
Yes. That's
Yeah, that was one of the nice things here is at least Macross is available here, which I find funny on Disney, subtitled in
Is there a
English.
Macross Christmas?
No, I don't think
Oh.
there's a.
Hey, I'll post the link to you guys when I get it. But my two of my kiddos put together the way there's like the Yolog thing that you play in the background for Christmas. They put together this little video thing to play in the background for Christmas with Christmas music. But there's this game called Abiotic Factor. I've not played it. But what they did is you can get Christmas items in the game. It's like a sort of a first-person shooter type thing, based kind of on the world of Half-Life. And they would go set up scenes with like a Christmas tree and presents in these different locations. And the kiddo's character would be sitting there with a cup of coffee while the other player, the other kiddo, was doing the camera work and filming it. And it's one of these things that not knowing the game, I still found it fun and interesting to watch because of all the stuff going on in the background, and knowing that they had to set up all the little pieces, the elements in the environments in a multiplayer game while there's other players running around was impressive to me.
That is kind of cool.
Since you can't read the comments, Guy, I'll let you know that Bob said he went to the Chris Kendall Mart yesterday, and also that he spent most of the afternoon today putting up Christmas decorations and is pretty tired. And Brent mentioned to watch out for the ninjas down there. You can't see them; they're ninjas.
You gotta worry about the one ninja because of the law of conservation of ninjutsu.
I mean, they got to be somewhere, right? Maybe they're in this drainage over here.
Brent's asking if you've gone to the Kato store yet.
No, not yet. It's north, from the north side of town.
What is a Kato?
He's talking about trains, model trains.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I haven't yet, but I will. It's interesting what is just right here. Like, we've been able to just tootle around. Today we went, and on the other side of the river right over there is, first of all, on the other side of the river is a different prefecture. But on the other side of the river over there is this beautiful temple, Shinto shrine, which even had the little torii gate pathway. So that was. So I wanted to show the kiddo that because it's like a very Japanese thing. But one of the other things I've noticed over here is the parking. There's a parking garage right here, which is the multi-stacked parking garage. You know, you pull into the car, it lifts up, and then you pull another car underneath it, lifts that up, and there's another car underneath it.
So, yeah, I've only seen those in movies.
So somebody's using them actively, but it still was kind of like I've been waiting for somebody to move their cars so I could see how that works. So, but yeah, I will be going to that store. We're waiting for James to come back with more for the more long ranged trips like Akihabara and to go see Tokyo Tower and stuff like that. We're scheduled to go see the Ghibli Museum on the 23rd, which is next Monday. So next week, this time, we will have gone to the Ghibli Museum by the time we get on. So Geek Tank, it'll be cool. So, but that's the battle plan.
Yeah, on Netflix, there's that Miyazaki I don't know what to call it, like documentary or video memoir. What was it named? It came out a few weeks ago. I haven't watched it yet. But it looked, I mean, I'm not even a big fan of Miyazaki. This just sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up too. Oops.
Because I'm standing on a patio, I can't look it up here.
Yep.
Although I would like to say, I mean, one of the things that is fascinating about this particular trip all the way across the board is the technology. And I'm literally standing here on the other side of the globe talking to you guys in the middle of this show,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. I mean, I grant I'm in Tokyo, so it's not like this is a third world country or anything. But still, it's just really neat that that's a thing that I'm able to do. Well, you guys
Might be easy if I
seeing
just log into my account. Hold on.
every so often I've been clicking on the chat so I can read it.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if that's where I can find it too. I'm not seeing it. It's a documentary, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Hayao Miyazaki and the Heron. Is that it?
And
Heron.
Well, I know that he talks about the Heron movie he made.
The Boy and the Heron, which was most recent.
It's on Max.
It's on Max. Yeah, but some of the Max stuff has been getting onto Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was only for unlimited time.
Yeah, I know that when we go, it'll be interesting. It was great when we were there 20 years ago or whatever, but I'm looking forward to going again this time now that I've had the ability to kind of look at stuff that you can do while you're there and things like that. So one of the things I'm looking forward to is they often sell a paint set if it's there, and I'm not sure whether it is or not, but they often sell a paint set which involves all of the colors of the paint that they usually use when they do the paintings for the shows, so for the movie. So when they're doing like the preview, or not the preview, the what are they called? I just lost the word. I am operating in two different languages here all the time. But when they do come on, you know what I'm talking about. When you make a movie,
the Doodle Bop,
when they make those,
yeah,
they usually
storyboard.
Storyboard. Thank you.
Okay.
Weird. They usually make the storyboards with a specific set of palette of paint, so that they all look the same. All the colors look the same, and everything matches. And they sell that there, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Well, they have in the past sold that there, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. We can pick up a set, because they're all Holbein paints, which is something that my friend Pepper got me into as well. So.
Cool. Are they? They're not over 3 ounces each, are they?
No, probably not.
Because you probably can't get them back if they are.
Right? They're paints. They could be explosives.
Silly explosives.
It's a thing. I get it. Transporting things is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I might just put it in my luggage. Wrap it up and put it in my luggage. So.
Yeah. There's a special type of toothpaste that Nick uses, but it comes in 4-ounce tubes. So it's like, you're not taking it back with you to Canada. We have to mail it to you.
Yeah, it is interesting. That's another thing that's very interesting is the way that we handle security and the way the Japanese handle security is different. I mean,
elaborate.
Well, they're not insecure here. It's not like they're insecure. We don't want to talk. But it's like it's much more hidden and in the background. You know, and what I mean, like in America, you walk in and like security guards are just standing right there. They're all over the place. here they're kind of off in the background. You can't see them, and a lot of times they're not even armed. You know, so which that's kind of interesting, kind of comforting actually. It's kind of nice. Less less likely that somebody's going to start firing a flamethrower and stuff. So it is also just a different feel all the way across this country is. So that's interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Have you been watching just their local TV and game shows?
No, James doesn't believe in that, so he doesn't have terrestrial TV. So I haven't figured out how to pick up terrestrial TV yet.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love doing when I go to another country is watching what the local TV shows are like.
I know, me too. And that's actually, I even mentioned that to him, and he said we'll figure it out. But like I said, he hasn't been back yet. So I mean, he was back last night, but he went to work today. He'll be back tonight, and that'll be pretty much the first time that we've been able to kind of sit down and kind of talk about all of this and decide what we're doing for our trip.
Mm-hmm.
We figured this week would be us kind of acclimating and just poking around in the local area, and we're at the end of that, and I feel like we've poked around a lot. We know a lot about the little part of town that we're in, and we've already spent an inordinate amount of money on, things that are really silly and funny and kind of cute. And by inordinate, I mean a small amount, like a lot, relatively speaking. So, because
Yep.
it was just the thing. But yeah, it's we'll figure that out tonight because I agree with you. I like terrestrial TV. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you spotted since you have to hop back and forth between comments, but Andy's here.
Oh yeah, and I'll be hanging out with them later on this. Well, I guess next year.
So long.
I know. Well, Neil and I have been talking, so.
What kind of distance do you got to travel to meet up?
It's going to take us about an hour to get there.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not horrible.
It's like going to Boulder.
Right. I mean, from your house, yeah.
From my house, yeah.
It's on, but it is a straight shot on the trains, which means that, the place that Neil picked is a straight shot on the trains. It should be pretty easy. So that's actually really cool. So looking forward to seeing you, Andy.
Nice.
So, which is cool. We'll be hanging out. I'm gonna hang out. I've already sort of picked time. We've already hung out with the other family that typically we hang out with. So we went to a really interesting little place, which kind of like like those pottery places that you go to where you do the pottery and then stuff like that. It's similar. It's just a little craft place, and you go there and you do a little craft project or whatever, and just a thing to do a little craft project in, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so.
You know what else is a lot of fun?
Our sponsors, because I need to tell you that Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Home, the Massage Wizard, and your mom.
How do you say your mom in Japanese?
That's a Kasan.
That's
Just
too
Kasan.
much. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just Kasan.
Just Kasan. I guess it'd be Kasan A. Which would be kind of that thing, but that's all right. It works. But yeah. That was the other thing is that when I started here about a week ago, I was very self-conscious about my Japanese, but it's warming up as I've been here. I've even been telling jokes, bad jokes, but I've been telling jokes.
No, what? No, that doesn't track.
I was actually very proud of myself yesterday. We were at a store, and I just told the lady behind the counter. I just said a joke about coins and things like that, and she chuckled, and I chuckled, and I went, "Hey, I actually did more than just your basic, communication level thing there. I actually made a joke in Japanese." I was very proud of myself. Yeah. I love that. I guess I can't really. Well.
Well, that's a feature of Geek Tank.
Right. says, we're here to help you fall asleep,
Mhm.
even when I'm standing in the middle of the sunshine. It is kind of weird, though, to think that you guys are at night. You know what I mean? Like, that is kind of a strange, since I'm sitting here squinting at the sunlight, coming in and hitting me, obviously, from this side here. We've got not even rush hour traffic yet. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's not even rush hour traffic back there yet. It does get pretty clogged up down here. It's kind of interesting. We've got this really, really big building. It's just right over here. Something like, looks like it's 20, 25 stories tall. It just kind of towers over the rest of the buildings here. But even this building's 5 stories tall. The one that we're on right now. So that's kind of cool. One thing that hasn't happened yet is any kind of earthquake. We haven't had any earthquakes, which I don't know. I mean, they're not super common, I guess, in Japan, but just the little ones, are they do happen more than once a year or something. So it's been kind of like, we're gonna have an earthquake. I don't know. Now that I know what to do with an earthquake, they don't bother me that much. That building's pretty tall too.
So what do you do with an earthquake?
Oh, I mean, I just, as opposed to freaking out and crying and huddling on the floor,
Oh, okay.
as one from Colorado would do, because we don't ever have earthquakes there. So you're like, what do you do? And most of the time, what I've discovered the Japanese do is when there's an earthquake, I look around to see what the Japanese are doing. If they start getting worried, then I start getting worried. But if the Japanese are just kind of like, and they go about their business, then I don't worry about it. Japanese speaking. So, yeah. But it's still cool. I mean, it's a great experience. I feel a whole lot better. I was very stressed out, and I wasn't doing very good while I was there. And so, having been here for a while has made me feel a whole lot better. So, this is good. And it's a great experience for the kiddo. So, always a plus. Always a plus.
Doesn't have for that.
Andy's recommending you download an app called the Nerve app, NERV, and it'll alert you when there's an earthquake about to happen. Is my guess.
I have an app which came at recommendation from Tokyo City. So I'm assuming that must be the app that she's talking about. I can't tell because I'm broadcasting. Obviously, I'll check whenever we get there. But thanks, Andy, because that's probably something that probably already is exactly what it is.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll go hang out with them.
Yeah. I know our friend got a place smaller than what he was originally looking for as far as accommodations. Is it cramped with just the 3 of you there?
No.
How would it handle 5 additional guests?
If 5 might be cramped. It's a 2-bedroom apartment with a bathroom in the middle. And then there's a common space, I guess one could argue, right here. So what he's got is he's got effectively a kitchen, which he's got a table in. And then a room which was his living room, but he's converted it into another bedroom with a bed. But even Kiddo is sleeping on a mat on the floor. So, which that's not a big deal, but and then he's got 1 bedroom right over there. It's not uncomfortable. It's bigger than my apartment was when I was here. It's about
I never saw that.
Yeah, I know, but it's about the same size as Mariah's apartment. So I would say you could fit the whole thing probably in our living room. Is probably what I would say. So maybe the living room and the kitchen area, but that's about it. I don't know, probably just the living room. So there you go. That's about the size of where we're dealing with.
Okay. Yeah, I know we were considering next year possibly coming out for a visit, but that was post Yeah, that was pre the downsizing of the living space.
Right. But I mean, it wouldn't be bad. You just may not be able to haul all 5 of you.
Well, one of them might still be in Canada. I don't know.
As I said, one of them might still be in Canada, so you may have no real true problems.
Right.
But yeah, and James is really big on people coming and visiting because he's kind of missing everybody and missing connecting with people. So definitely recommend it if you want to come this way.
We'll have to see.
Couple-
It was
so
also
that-
it's a little bit
Uh-huh.
pricier than we were expecting for the Canada boy. So
Yeah,
but so he better hurry up and become famous so he can start supporting us.
right. That's what I'm noticing about all colleges in general. They're like, oh yeah, it'd be easy. You could do this. Oh yeah, it's lower than budget. Oh, you would mention all these hidden fees because we didn't. Now we will. And since you're
Wasn't the
already
college
struck-
so much? Canada has fees,
Oh yeah.
which I'm sure America has the same fees for non-Americans coming over. I just don't know any, so I don't hear about it. So yeah.
Right. I do have to say that Japan is interestingly cheaper right now. My brain has it to still set at 100 yen to the dollar, and it's really 150 yen to the dollar, which means that, but all of the things here are roughly the same price that they were when I was here 20 years ago when it was 100 yen to the dollar. So, for example, I'm looking at getting one of the transformable models of from Macross that's being released. I think it was released yesterday. So when I go to Akihabara, that's one of my big things. I've been gunning for it for 8 months, and it's about $100, give or take. Except that it's $100 in Japanese, which means that it's really going to be like $75 in real life. You know what I mean? But my brain, I've already allotted $100, and so that's been very useful because I'm not going through money as fast as I think I am, which has been great because I'm sure that I'm burning through the money very fast, supporting me and the kids. You know, we're eating out all the time because, you know, just the way of the world here. You know, we're always eating out and, you know, going. And even today, when we went to lunch, we went to the 7-Eleven and picked up bento boxes. I mean, they weren't expensive. It was $5 for a bento box for both of us. So it's $10 for lunch, or rather 1,000 yen, which really ends up being about $8 for both of us. Which, so that's a benefit if you come over here right now with the yen being weak against the dollar. That is a big benefit. It does not cost as much. So.
As you were saying that, and before it has reached Andy was typing suggesting you go to 7-Eleven to eat. So those messages.
Pick a guy dog.
Yeah.
Man, there's a Family Mart right there, 7-Eleven right there. There's a Lawson right over there. I mean, like, that was one of the things we were cracking up about is that every 20 feet is another convenience store.
Yeah, I would trust Japanese gas station sushi over American gas station sushi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually got gyoza at the Family Mart, or at the 7-Eleven. Yeah. But I got to admit, it has better stuff than the Lawson back here. So I agree with Andy on that one.
The Netflix show Alice in Borderland touches a lot on the culture of going to gas stations and getting cups of noodle, especially for the younger or older teenagers, younger 20-somethings, as their main source of meals.
Right. Well, and that I can see that definitely. You know, it's the way that James has lived for a while because he doesn't have any pots and pans yet because they were in a box at my house and they were being shipped over here. We wanted to ship them over here, but we didn't want to ship them over here at a time when he wouldn't be able to receive them. So it's been weird timing. We had to pretty much send it, and then we flew over here to receive it. So, and they haven't arrived yet. They'll be here in a couple of days. But once they do, he'll have pots and pans can actually cook.
Yes, they are. The Japanese are known for their terrible pots and pans. One must import them.
In this instance, no, this is a James thing. He got these really expensive, really nice pans that were very expensive, and he wanted those. He did
So I
not
did
want
almost a month study in Germany back before we had kids when I was studying the language. And one of the first things I did is I went and bought like a $2 pot so I could make ramen in it.
Yeah. He's just being James. This is nothing to. There's no slight on the quality of Japanese software. This is just James being James. He got these really expensive things called hexclads, and he bought an extra one, and left it at my house. I will admit it is a really nice frying pan. However, this is just him being weird. So I also think that for the last 7 or 8 months, he's been stationed in various locations and has been kind of doing all kinds of weird stuff all around, and hasn't really settled in here yet. So I think part of it just is, in general, he hasn't been here that much. So he was waiting for the opportune time.
See, I'm looking these up now, and yeah, they are exorbitant in their price.
Right,
Yeah.
and you see how he would rather ship them than buy
He's already
them.
invested in it, so yeah.
He's invested, and so and space is a premium here. So it's not like you can just go buy a bunch of pots and pans and then just buy more pots and pans and stick the other pots and pans on the shelf somewhere. There isn't really that much of a shelf to stick them in. So you can kind of see where he's going on this one. It makes some sense. It is weird sounding, but yeah. But I am kind of looking forward to those getting here, because once they are here, we can cook stuff and things. So
Yes, the same company that their knives are Damascus steel.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's serious stuff, and like I said, he bought one and left it with us intentionally. He left it with me intentionally, and I've got to admit I prefer it over all of my other ones too.
Mhm.
It is a nice pan, and they clean so quickly. They're so easy to clean. They're faster to clean than stainless steel, like Teflon, except without the Teflon coating that comes off or whatever. So yeah.
Cool.
Lovely. Sure, I'm enjoying this place. I'm enjoying being here.
Well, it'd suck if you didn't.
Yeah, I know, right? After all this effort to get
You're
over
like,
here,
oh, this place sucks.
there are some funny things that I have discovered. First of all, I've just learned that if you do dating apps of any sort, the dating apps change location. That's interesting. My psychiatrist recommended that I get onto a dating app, and I was curious, and the dating app has switched my location. So all the people on the dating app are all Japanese now. It's very funny.
Oh no, don't do that.
I'm like, okay, and I was just thinking about it. This isn't like a big drive for me, but I was like, if I was the kind of person who'd be dating, wouldn't it be like, would that complicate things? I'm only here for a month. So I'm like,
Well,
oh, hi.
people do have relationships that only last like a couple of weeks to a month.
I know, but I mean, the dating app did ask what was your intention, short-term or long-term relationships,
Mhm.
And I put long-term relationships, and so I was like, gosh, it seems like that. And it's just connecting me with other people who are into long-term relationships. But I was like, nice. How about long-distance relationships? Are you into long-distance relationships? Yeah. How about all those cross deals?
You might need to change that status.
It is very funny. I was just humored by that whole thing. I doubt seriously anything was going to come of it, but it's still very funny. So, but yeah, that was just an interesting thing. What else did I discover? It was just I didn't expect. If you do come to Japan, we have learned the puck thing. There's a device that you can carry with you that connects to a wire or connects to a cellular network, and effectively just makes a little mobile wireless hotspot. And so what you do is you carry it with you in your pocket. It connects to the cellular network, and then your phones connect to it wirelessly. And that's how I am still able to stay in contact with everybody, because I just put my phone into wireless or into Wi-Fi mode while I'm here. It's not in cellular mode, it's just in Wi-Fi mode. but it works just fine. I've been receiving phone calls. I've been making phone calls, so it doesn't seem to have any real effect, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, you have to remember the last time I was here was almost 20 years ago, and so all the technology being different now is fascinating to me. You go to the 7-Eleven now, and they have a little machine out front, so they beep all the things, and then you just put your machine or put your money into this machine, and then it just automatically gives you the change. And I was like, uh-oh. She was trying to tell me how to do this thing the first day I was here. I don't know what is this thing for? I was so confused. So anyway, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, I mean, we've talked now 45 minutes worth of the show has been on Japan. What have you guys been doing? I mean, we've got a little bit of
well, not every show you're in Japan.
Right.
I know it's true. This is kind of a rare thing, obviously. So, yeah. So
I was
cool.
wondering, we are planning on playing another game this weekend.
Yeah.
Is one of our players that hasn't been coming around? Are they going to be there or?
As far as I know, that's a possibility. We've been trying to contact each other and just keep missing each other online because they had some questions they wanted to get caught up on stuff, and of course they were ready to play last Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
I was like, well, we still don't have James, so.
Right.
And if you guys, as in Guy, your kiddo, and James, have something else that would conflict with gaming, obviously the Japan stuff should take priority over that since there's less opportunity for that. But if you guys are like, we're gonna be sitting around making ramen with our awesome super cookware on that day anyway, then we could game that night. Yeah.
Yeah, no, as far as I am aware, and like I said, there's a small asterisk on this. As far as I'm aware, James and I are both expecting this is a Sunday for us. It's Sunday about this time, so well, it's a little earlier, but Sunday about roughly this time-ish, give or take. Should be fine. It should be just fine.
Well, the sooner you can let me know if it's a for sure yes or for sure no, the quicker I can let the group know.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say for sure yes at this moment, because the only thing I can think of is James suddenly being called away, but working on a Sunday is probably not likely to happen. So, as far as I'm aware, actually James was kind of bummed that we weren't playing last Saturday. Because he was like, I almost made it. And he almost made it back here in time.
Yeah, but had he not made it, then.
Yeah, I know. But he was bummed because of it. So, as in, there's another end.
Yeah. You need to tell people stop getting hurt.
Right? People stop hurting. But I mean, as in, he's really jazzed about playing, not as in he should have played, but rather, don't worry. I think both of us are really big on the idea of playing. I want to play just because it's novel to play from here. I think that's kind of cool, But I also want to play because I missed the game. So. Mm-hmm. We haven't played in a couple of weeks, so I've gotten to the point where I'm missing it quite a bit. I've got all the things here. I even brought dice, and I can buy more dice, 300 meters away, and more than that, 400 meters out.
Are the dice going to have the in Japanese or in English or in Arabic numbers? Sorry.
All in Arabic numbers. They'd be, but I mean, the only thing that would be novel about them is that I bought them in Japan. Yeah, they're normal dice. They're pretty straight up, but they are. The gaming store that I went to, the Yellow Submarine, which is the name of the gaming store, that was right there. They had. I was actually looking at the new player's handbook in Japanese and thinking I could do this, but then I would have to constantly be trying to translate out of it. But I mean, they had the new D&D player's handbook and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, it's really kind of wild.
I don't know if my experience would be similar, but I did have when I was the same trip when I was talking about being in Germany. There was a host. Everybody was paired up with a local, and the local I was paired up just happened to be into gaming, which I thought was really cool because it wasn't like they gave us a survey and said, "What are you into?" It just worked out that way. And he'd bought me as a gift after we had known each other for a few weeks the codex for the Warhammer Dark Angels, all in German, because he knew that was the army I played. And it's awesome. It's a cool gift, but I do not use it for the purposes that the book was made for. I use it because it's cool and it's in a different language.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things. Like I was looking at my Japanese Magic cards, and there are a few things that I got that are cool. They did have at this card store, not the Yellow Submarine, the other card store. I got the trifecta of Urza's things: the Urza's Tower, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's. So I can run that trifecta. But they were like 89 cents or 89 yen for each one of them, so like 50 cents each.
Well, if you want it to be effective, you really need 4 of each.
Yeah, I know, but I've got 3 of each. I've got 1 of each of all 3 of them, which is fine. But it's still really cool that and they're in English. I didn't get a Japanese one; they were all in English, and I thought that was interesting. And 2 of them are antiquities, so I was like, "Well, that's interesting. Did not expect to find an antiquity here." You know what I mean? I was like, "That's old."
Yeah.
For 89 yen, pretty amazed. And I know that a lot of, obviously getting Kamigawa is useful. This is him.
Is there like a zombie apocalypse happening?
No, he's just coming back. And they've got little speakers, and they're saying, please get out of the way. Please look out. Behind you. It's very cute. It's so Japanese. We are sad to find out that they have one of the evolutions that has occurred since we were here last is the fire trucks no longer make a little dingy noise. They actually now have a siren like American fire trucks. And we're somewhat saddened by that because that was adorable and I was looking forward to that. So
it must have been people weren't getting out of the way for the adorable noise.
Yeah.
It was having the opposite effect. People were crowding in to hear it.
Yeah. Look, it's dinging. Let's get close. Yeah. So, back to what I was saying before the ambulance went through here. One of the things that I'm pondering with my Magic cards is once I get all these cards that are in Japanese, how complicated a card do I want to? What's the level of complication? I'm not always going to be playing with Alex, who can ID every card right away and know exactly what it does. Moreover, if it's too complex, I'm going to have to pull it out every time and slowly read it before playing. So what is the of complication before I decide I'm not playing this card?
You can always create a gallery, if you don't have any English versions, create a gallery from pics online and put them on your phone and be like, oh yeah,
right,
here it is.
Yeah. Or print them out and stick it as a little piece of paper in the back or whatever, But I mean, I was just saying, from a speed point of view, like some of them are pretty straightforward, but I did get a new mecha that I didn't have before. So there's a mecha card that I'd never seen before, and I don't actually know what it does, but it's since I do play artifact mecha decks, that's definitely going into my deck, and it's rare. So, but it's all in Japanese. I'll have to find out what its instructions are, because of course, as most of those vehicles are vehicle cards, it's complicated. It's got a complicated block attack. But I'm looking forward to playing it. I kind of had an epiphany that, the reason that people all hang out with one another is shared experiences. So one of the shared experiences that James and I have always done is play Magic together. So I brought a deck with me, and so does the kiddo. They're going back now. They're heading back the other way. So the station is.
They're lost. They're just driving around in circles.
The station's this way, and this road dead ends at the station. So that's clearly where they went, to the station and never coming back. There's a main road behind me. So that's why they're packaged right there. Well, actually, I think they went that way. Oh, they went that way. Oh, well. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. I'm kind of curious to look back on this video when I get back from Japan and watch the video and go, well, that was what was going on behind. I have no idea what you guys hear, obviously. So,
did the Magic place have a fair amount of really cheap commons from Kamigawa?
yeah. Would you like me to pick up?
Well, I was thinking as possible prizes for NDK for the Magic tournament, because if it's a Japanese ninja or a Japanese samurai from Magic, one fits the theme of NDK, and I think stuff like the mecha or having something that is more interesting in Japanese would be more appealing to a larger crowd, especially NDK attendees, than like. To me, a Disenchant in Japanese is fun because Disenchant's classic, and I know what it is. But I could also see a bigger appeal for that.
Yeah, when we went to the two places yesterday, we got there just as they were closing.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell Japanese stores. It's one of the kind of cool things when they close for the last 15 minutes, they play Old Lang Syne over the speakers. So when you walk in, it's going dun 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 dun. You're like, oh crap, the store's closing soon. But there's so many things that Japan does. I'm like, why do we not do this? Instead, you got like angry workers who are like, "What are you doing? Coming in here? We're closing soon. Go away."
See, I think in Germany they should play the sound from Mario when time's running out. So
right.
That way you can
and then speed up their regular music.
Yeah.
But yeah,
just keep receipts so I can get reimbursed for me.
Yeah.
Keep
and I won't a whole lot if that's okay, but yeah. I'll just get you a bunch. And anything in theme is what you're kind of looking for, right?
Yeah, that's why the Kamigawa set I think would be the best ones to go after, and they don't have to, not the expensive ones, if they have something equivalent to like a quarter pile or whatever, or even cheaper, sweet. Basic land in Japanese, that kind of stuff.
Basic land is easier, but you're not getting Kamigawa land out of me because I'm stealing all those, man.
Well, there's going to be a point at that you're going to get more than you need, and then we can do that.
Then
he's going to throw them on the bed and roll on them.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
Weird. I had 1,000 land when I started rolling on them, and now I'm missing a few.
Oh.
All right.
Definitely I will do that for you. We'll head there again, and when we do, I will pick up more.
Cool. I'm guessing you're not doing your other show from Japan.
Yeah, no, I would have to stand out here for an hour and just talk at people. So, I'm actually not doing the show because it is 1 p.m, and that is weird. And it just happened to be today. We only wanted to go see that little shrine and came back. So, although now the kiddo was talking about going down to Yodobashi, which is the electric store. They're called Denki stores, so it's electric. It's TVs, cameras, stuff like that. Anything that's electronics. But they also have games and things like that. But also they have little carrying things, and we're like, gosh, it would be nice if we had just like a little pouch with a sling that we could carry with us places,
like a pack that you can wear on your back.
Look at that semi.
Or and like
semi.
Give me some of those Ranma games. Only have the first 2 fighters for Super NES.
Oh yeah, so that was the other thing. We have oddly not seen that much Ranma merch yet.
God damn it!
So I mean, we haven't gone to Akihabara, and of course, if it exists, it's going to be in Akihabara. But we haven't. We were just noticing it. It's really Spartan. Exactly. I'm like, we could see Ray Earth, but not Ranma. That was weird. I don't know. I was just like, it's just such a strange thing. I don't know. Anyway, so we're still working the situation. However, yeah, just be aware that it's not as prevalent as I thought. I did manage to find a couple of the little folders that hold papers that I love to use all the time, little plastic folders that hold papers that you never find in America. But I found a couple of them for Tsurune, which is the anime about Kyudo. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm getting those because I need to replace them anyway because all the ones that I had from 20 years ago are starting to fall apart. So time to replace them. So I did. But I think we're running out of time, aren't we?
We're out of time.
We are out of time. I mean, but it was great talking to you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, from Japan. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. So we really are. I think James and I are really big on trying to get back into the game just to be with people and hang out with you guys. So we're in. Consider it in, and we will tell you if we aren't for whatever reason. But I can't imagine anything happening that would say no. So we're up. Just ready for you whenever you get there.
Right. Cool.
And thank you all, everybody else, for joining us. I'm glad to see that everybody was still here.
Not everybody fell asleep.
Yep.
I pushed too many buttons. Crap. I
don't break it.
Yeah. I broke it. Only old people die. Right? Anyway, I'm pushing buttons to try to open up the thing to see what Andy was saying about dice.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's all good. Andy, we'll be seeing you too, but I'll probably be back here again next week with you guys unless there's some reason why we won't. I'll give you note if there's something we're doing on Monday.
Okay.
But until then, I think that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you all for joining us. And from Tokyo, I've been Guy.
From Denver, I've been Troy.
From Arvada, I've been Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.